indirectly, of course.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because you're now kind of like another.
Kind of.
Huh?
I said, ooh, that kind of. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, but like you're now like in that you've catapulted yourself in that race, so to speak. Mm-hmm. So you do feel like it's a.
Oh yes.
Now, how do you feel?
I feel like it's a shortage, but I feel like it doesn't necessarily matter if it's a black or white or Asian thing. I think it's more so of it's been magnified through social media, through black men ain't shit or whatever. But there's white men who ain't shit.
Correct.
There's white men in prison. There's white men with baby mamas.
But y'all not looking for them. Y'all not checking for them.
Who said that?
Well, I don't want no pink meat.
I mean,
there's a million women who say that shit.
Yeah, I mean, I'm open to the idea. I mean, I prefer to be with a black man, but if for some reason, he ain't making me cry, he not here fucking my own girl.
Well, teach me.
I just try to. I'm 31.
So do you feel like the older you get, the wider your options, the wider you, I guess, expand your options?
I think you kind of have to. I think men have been doing it. Black men have been doing it for years. You know what I mean? I feel like it's time for black women to kind of open ourselves up to see what else is out there, because there is a quote-unquote shortage of good black men, but we're the minority.
So do you feel like that comes from like unhealed traumas that they've had with their own race, or do you feel like that's just them just being open?
What you mean, like wanting to date outside your race? Mm-hmm. I don't think so. I think you're just more so open-minded to finding love within a person. It's almost like someone who transitions, and now I'm a woman, and it doesn't matter what I used to be. You have to love me for who I am now. Yes, so if it's a white man, an Asian man, an Indian man, it doesn't matter. Like, you love me for the person I am. Like, it's coming to a point where we have to. We kind of have to.
But the difference is, like, niggas just like bitches in general. You know what I'm saying?
Men like women in general.
That's what I'm saying.
It's just white men are more low key with it. It ain't all on social media broadcasted every day.
But see, it's also a difference between, like, if I'm a white guy, right? Because I identify with a white guy, right?
Okay,
so
Chad.
I'm Chad right now.
Right. Transracial.
It don't matter.
Transracial.
So it doesn't really matter.
Rachel Dolezal.
It doesn't really matter.
She's transracial.
It doesn't really matter.
Braiding her edges. Sorry.
Y'all ain't shit.
I mean, she is. She had a whole tutorial on how to braid your hair. I was like, sis, thank you, but I don't want my edges.
You clearly watched it though.
No, it was on Hollywood Unlocked or some shit like that. I did not watch the tutorial. My friends called me Rachel for a long time after she came out. It's fucked up. Anyway, go ahead. This is a serious matter.
So it doesn't really matter. Like if I'm a white guy, I don't think it really matters as to what I like. It matters more who's attracted to me, because now that's who I get to choose from. So I think that's kind of like the fundamental difference, because black men, okay, sure, like niggas like all types of races,
exotic. Don't even do that. Y'all like
whatever.
Exotic women. Just say that.
Don't say y'all. I like black chicks. I really do. But I think the difference is though, like, the black man is like the most coveted man on the fucking earth though. Like the most wanted, the most copied, the most imitated, the most whatever. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's more so that I think that his options are available to all of those different races. You know what I'm saying? And I think black women are kind of different just because I feel like everybody likes a black woman, but I feel like black women don't really like everybody else.
You feel like... Hold on, repeat what you just said.
I feel like I'm talking about attracted to. I feel like
where?
I feel like everybody.
Hold on.
I feel like are you kidding me?
I'm so serious.
The bodies for the past decade almost are fucking carbon copies of how black women are built.
Is that how black women are really built?
Thank you. Come on, because
it's the idea.
They made an idea what they.
It's the idea.
This shit is gross.
Yeah, you look stupid, sis. You look dumb.
But what I'm saying is it's like you take the prototype and you try to fucking enhance it to the perfect whatever. It's modeled after how a black woman is built though. Y'all don't think that?
So what black woman is it modeled after?
Thanks.
Like I've seen some old photos of like the African women and they, you know, had big breasts and big asses or whatever. But I mean, for us, like I mean, even you have black women that's altering their bodies to look like what?
Who are they looking like? Who are they trying to look like?
Besides unproportioned.
Jessica Rabbit.
Well, she ain't black as shit.
I don't care. Jessica Rabbit was a black woman in my mind. She was a black woman. She was just like
She was a high yellow.
No, I mean, but who else could it be modeled after? Like the curvy woman is the woman from Africa,
curvy,
no?
Yes. Unproportionate.
No, I'm not. I mean, I done seen some chicks who look like is unproportionate and it ain't. I've seen that. I think we all have seen it. Mm. Like we've all seen like a girl who has. We've all seen a girl whose body is banging. Like, damn, is that shit real?
No, I know when it's fake. 90% of the time, I know when someone's body is fake.
But I'm talking about like, come on, like even in when we was back in high school, you ain't see bitches with crazy bodies or like college. Cause we around the same age. I mean, I'm a little older than you, but
I mean, in college, I felt like women just had normal bodies. It wasn't like, ooh, look at her ass, or ooh, look at her. Like she just had a normal body. And I feel like now you have to have the certain breast size and a certain ass size and a certain waist size, and then now all of a sudden it's fit. Oh, sis.
And now what?
Your thighs don't match. Get your thighs. Can I do PSA? Get your thighs done too. When they sucking the fat. Get your thighs done, get your hips done. Also suck the fat from your arms and probably your cheek area because you look stupid. Sorry. I mean, because you still have fat in your arms.
They gotta stack their money.
You look dumb.
They trying to.
So what kind of when you
we went off.
Is that a pressure or is that something that you think about like in the transition phase? Like how you want your body to be.
I know how I want it to be. I just want to look like a Victoria's Secret model. I want to look like the girl next door. I'm not trying to go outside and get clocked. I don't want to be extra exotic because I know I'm going to get older. Shit's going to fall. I don't want to be in the surgeon's office every 5 years trying to get shit tucked in, plucked in, sucked in. I don't want it. Just.
You mentioned earlier about being very, very, I guess meticulous about like picking your surgeon.
Yes.
Why is that exactly?
Because you want it to look right. You don't want to be botched because once you botch, like it's very hard to correct it.
What would a botch consist of though? Like,
I can show you some pictures, but not on camera.
Shit, your thighs don't match. Botch.
I would honestly say, okay, for a lot of the trans girls, like I feel like they go to the same surgeons. Like they look very. What's the movie where he says, "Do you want to play a game?"
So.
Joke.
Yes, like where they have like the big cheeks, like their chin is like this big. Yes, and then they get like silicone injected into their bodies, their faces. The shit just looks gross.
Do you think that's because
they're taking a cheap way out and they just want to be?
Wait, say that again.
They're taking a cheap way out.
What you mean?
They go to the underground girls. They get pumped with silicone or whatever it is, fix a flat.
Oh.
Fix a flat in your face.
Oh yeah.
Your face.
In your face.
Now I always kind of wondered, like, so how Jaxon was talking about like the prototype of like the black woman. I always wondered, and maybe you can enlighten. I don't know, like how you know how like flamboyant gay men are. It's like a black woman, but it's like on 10. Do you know kind of like where that stems from? Because it's almost like I want to look like a woman, but I want to look better than a woman or act better than a woman. Or
see, me and my mom has actually talked about this. We talked about it in the very beginning. She was like, you know, what you have to be cautious of, because I was extremely flamboyant, but I think that was just me finding myself like before I transitioned. But once I started to transition, like I realized like women don't act like this. Like, they're not, like, saying yes, like, 24/7. Like, they may be now.
Because I always wondered that, like, why is that, like, a thing? Like, we don't talk like that. We don't act like that.
Right. And the ones that do, you know, they're in the entertainment business. You know, they're just trying to keep their check coming in. So, but, like, real women don't carry themselves like that. So, like, I really, really had to find the balance between it all.
Yeah, I always wondered that. I'm like, damn, like, do we
But it's a lot of girls like myself that are very beautiful that, you know, can't get clocked in the public. And you can tell that they're guys or used to be men because of the way they act.
Okay, clocked. You mean for people? I'm
people to
using
be like, oh, that
context
used to be a guy.
Okay, I was like, I'm using context clues. I think that's what you mean. But okay, thank you.
So like when I go out in public, like I'm very cautious. I'm like, do they know? So
At first glance, I would say no. At first glance, no.
Is that a real concern?
Yes.
And why is that? Why is that?
Safety reasons. Because you just never know, and like there are so many trans girls that are just getting killed for just being them. So that's my biggest thing is I'm just afraid of being harmed just because of I'm just trying to live authentically, and just be happy with myself. So when I go out, like I'm just very like.
What is your what's like the normal reaction that you get?
I don't get misgendered a lot at all. And if I do, I feel like it's just somebody just trying to be funny. But like lately, or I guess over the last 2 or 3 years, like it's just been very, oh, you're a tall girl. But it's never been like.
Now, is it something is it offensive if someone is like, oh, you used to be a guy? Is that offensive even though it's a
It's
fact?
not because it's a fact. It's not offensive. I just think it's just the way you bring it. But I feel like, why is that any of your business?
Well,
and when I say why is it any of your business, I'm just talking about. Okay.
No. Yeah, of course. But what if they're like, how does it go when you're in the beginning stages of like dating somebody or meeting someone new?
Oh, fuck. Okay, so I can tell you about two. Like I was dating this guy, and we'll call him Jay. I was dating Jay, and I met him off of Tinder. I met him off of Tinder. One of my good friends, she was like, I really feel like you should get on Tinder because I don't go on dates. Like,
the black girls fuck Tinder up though.
Wait, we're gonna come back to that.
All right, come back to it. Nigga, I don't give a fuck.
I've just been like very like low key. I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna wait until I'm 100% done before I start dating because it's very difficult to explain your situation because it's hard for people to grasp, especially most men.
I gotta tell y'all my Tinder story. Do you remember the Tinder? I swiped the transgender, a trans Tinder. Can I name it this? Can I name this that? All right. Anyway.
No. Name this
Transgender.
This is fucking terrible.
Did you snort?
Probably.
I'm a little.
You had a little more to drink today.
Yeah, I'm a little lady. But anyway, go ahead. So you, damn, my nigga.
There's no ice in my cup, sir. I wasn't asking you to give me. I'm just saying. That's why it looks like a lot.
Oh, okay.
So I met him on Tinder, and like within the first conversations, I was like, okay, look, I'm a trans woman, so if you're not into it, let me know. And he was like, well, you're still a woman. And I was like, okay, score for you. So he was like, well, can I have your number? And I was like, okay, cool, whatever. Gave him my number. Like, we set up a date. We went on a lunch date probably 2 days later. And, like, we were hanging out super duper heavy. But within, like, those first few conversations, I made sure to ask him, are you into dick? And he was like, no. I said, okay. I said, have you ever tried dick?
Wait.
I have to ask those questions, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Yo, that is more straightforward than any question I've ever asked on this this show. Have you ever tried dick? Are you?
You have to know these things.
Right.
And he was like, I have once, but it wasn't my thing. And I was like, normally that would turn me off. But I was like, okay, because I feel like if you try dick, you may want it later.
May want it, yeah.
And I can't give you that.
Oh, okay.
And if you cheat on me, I probably would kill you.
That's not cool.
Yeah, I would lose everything. Everything I've worked so hard for, I would kill you at your front fucking door with a baseball bat. That happened. True story. Recently.
We gotta talk. Aubrey, sip some wine. We need to hear that story.
But okay, so we were going out on dates. Asked him if he liked dick. He said no. I asked him, I was like, have you ever dated a trans woman? Because at this point now, I'm trying to make sure it's not just a fetish for you. Like, are you into trans women because of who they are or what they are?
Time out. How do you know that? How do you determine or differentiate the two?
Now I can differentiate it because I've started dating. And this was my first guy that I actually dated as a trans woman. The others were we just had an agreement. But, and he was like, I really want to talk to you, because you're a woman, you're beautiful, blah, 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 blah. You have a good head on your shoulders, whatever. So we dated heavy. Like, we were spending the night at each other's houses. We were going on dates every week. Like, I was getting off work, coming straight to his house. He was cooking breakfast, doing all of the things that I wanted him to do without me having to tell him what to do. But then, he was like, well, let's follow each other on Instagram. And at this point, I had an Instagram. And I was like, okay, I only had 3 pictures. And I was like, well, I'm not active. He was like, okay, cool, I still want to follow you, whatever. So, he followed me, I followed him. And at this point, I feel like now you're opening the door for me to not snoop, but do my investigations, because I need to know what the fuck I'm dealing with.
Yo, get the fuck out.
Thank you, because
to do my investigations.
I'm 117 weeks in, don't
like, you have to know what you're dealing with. And I feel like some people, like, you really get to see who they are by not what they post, by what they like, though. So, like, I was watching what he liked, and, like, it was this one girl in particular that I know from Florida. I don't know her personally, and she's a trans girl, and I know what she's about. Like, she sells sex on OnlyFans. Like, she's out here fucking guys for money. So I was like, well, how do you know her? Because she commented on one of his posts back in March and was like, happy birthday. And he was like, thanks, Keish. Thank you for holding me down. So at this point, I'm like, holding you down? Well, how did she hold you down?
Hold you down.
Oh my God.
Because I was there to hold me down.
So on our next date, like, I brought it up. I was like, I really don't want to bring up old stuff. I said, but I really need to know, because I'm not the girl to follow after other or certain girls. And I feel like, that's the same with guys. And maybe for you also, if you know what some people are about, and you're not going to follow behind it, because at this point, you're trash right along with them. And he was like,
that's not fair.
Yes, it is.
That's not fair. 20 minutes ago, y'all niggas both just said you can't judge somebody by some shit that was in their past.
Well, this wasn't like past. This was like a few months.
Even still, like, I'm gonna be weary talking to you. Like, ooh, that's what you.
But all right. But if somebody is a shady ass person, or they might be into some shady shit, who's to say that the person knew that they was in that shady shit before they got involved with them? Like, you just never know. You just never
do
know.
your research.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe men don't research that much.
They do.
Do they?
Niggas are just like bitches. They do.
You don't? No.
Really?
You don't click through stuff.
It depends. Like, I don't be liking people like that though. Like
I don't like
I'm not about to like you enough
He's like a rare,
to risk my job. Thumbing through Instagram, trying to figure out who this bitch fucked. I don't give a fuck.
It's not even right. It's just trying to see, like, what their vibes are, like, what they're into.
But if I can't find that out in person, what's Instagram?
People are fake.
Yeah,
people are so fake. You won't know a real person. You won't know a real person what they like. Yes, absolutely.
I would say more so what they repost, not what they like. Because I like a bunch of shit.
I don't have a booty, right? I don't have a booty. We know this. Okay, whatever. But if I follow you and you're interested in me and all you like is big asses,
hold on now.
Like, what the fuck? So clearly you're not really into bitches with big asses. So are you really into me? Like, are you just trying to fuck? If you just trying to fuck, like, well, say that and let me make the decision if I'm trying to fuck you or not.
But what if they trying to just fuck all the girls with the big asses and they actually like your personality?
But why would you entertain me?
Yeah, don't talk to me.
Like, I feel like this. I feel like Barack Obama would never entertain
like your
like a black
personality?
China because he's into Michelle Obama.
Yeah.
Wait,
why?
I
said I feel like Barack Obama would never entertain the likes of like a black China or like a superhead because he likes a certain caliber of woman. So why are you wasting my fucking time if you liking these trash ass bitches that's over here wrapped in fucking caution tape on Instagram?
But we don't know what he like. We know that's what he like now. We don't know what he was. We don't know what he was fucking when he was smoking cigs prior to Harvard.
If you like,
we don't know. Like, this nigga. Like,
yeah, but he grown, and I just feel like if you still liking that stuff now, like, okay, sure, we don't know what Obama was into before he got with Michelle, but once he got with her, this is the type of caliber woman that you got. And so you can't now backtrack and be liking all the bitches with big asses and caution tape. And
even if you do, why do it where everybody else can see it?
Yeah, that's just.
Who give a fuck about a like?
I'd rather you slide into a DM.
I
hate seeing a nigga that I know like a bitch picture and I'm like, this is what you like,
bro. It's
you
literally
commenting on it. It's like, oh wow,
my nigga. It's literally this. That's literally what it is.
But do you not disagree with the fact that likes turn into other things? Sometimes. Most times.
It depends.
If you like multiple pictures of a bitch bent over and fucking caution tape, making her silicone ass clap or whatever she got, do you not think she gonna slide in and be like, so you like what you see?
Who don't like a bent over ass clapping?
You can like it, but I just feel like it's just a certain level of tact.
And I don't think if it depending on the type of girl it is. The bitches ain't hopping in your DM because you liking some of their pictures.
Well, it's a lot of trans girls that are thirsty as fuck, so they do.
Oh. Okay, well,
it's a lot of women in general that do that shit.
Well, where the fuck they at? Cause don't nobody be jumping in my fucking DM because I'm liking they fucking pictures. Like, what the fuck? But I'm sorry. What was we talking about? We were talking about the
Tinder date.
the Tinder swipe. And you said he liked or no. Thanks, Keish. Hold me down, Keish. Yeah.
Yes. So he told me, I was like, okay. I said, so, is there unfinished business that you haven't tied up? Because if you're wanting to pursue me or get to know me, you need to wrap it up. And he was like, no. He was like, it's not like that. Like, we started following each other on Snapchat, I think he said. And he was like, one thing led to another, and we messed around. But her life didn't line up with mine. So, we parted ways. And I was like, okay. I was somewhat satisfied, but I was like, all right. So at that point, like I would say probably about 2 weeks later, I was just on Instagram, not even being nosy, not lurking. And I was, I guess, under the thing where it shows you what everybody else is doing.
Okay.
And what was he doing? He was on her page liking all her shit. Bitch was bent over in caution tape. She was in like this neon mesh suit with her silicone ass that looks like a fucking rectangle.
Where does a non-police officer get caution tape?
I don't know.
Amazon, where you get everything.
But she was, yeah, and I was just like, so I asked him, I said, are y'all still in contact? And he was like, nah, we not. And I was like, so what are you doing?
Why are you on her shit?
Why are you checking for her? And like I felt like I had to check myself because I'm like, okay, you sound really insecure asking him these questions. But truth of the matter is, like, I'm just trying to see because her and I, we don't align. So if you're into me, why are you still liking that?
But so this is the part where it doesn't make sense to me though, right? So like, what if I feel like it would still be an issue if he was liking a bunch of pictures of a girl who did align with you, just based off of the fact that it's another
if she's
girl
half
that's
naked,
not
yes,
you.
Because I feel like it's disrespectful.
Nah, but not even if they half naked. Like however, whatever life you live on social media. If a nigga is liking, like if you dress up in, I like chicks in blazers. Don't ask me why, right? But I like when a girl looks really nice in a blazer. So if not even my girl, but if a girl that I'm dating wears blazers and fucking dresses and shit like that every day, and then now I'm going and liking another girl who dresses the same way and has a 9-to-5 office gig, and I'm liking all of her shit, it's still gonna be an issue just based off of the fact that probably this girl is probably more of a threat because she's a mirror image of who the fuck you are. Like, you know what I'm saying? So my thing is like, is it really because of her image, or is it just because of the fact that it's just another girl and like he's showing her interest?
It was that. It was because of her image and also because of y'all had a past.
Okay.
But I feel like it's kind of almost like it's porn. And maybe that's how we should start looking at it. Like,
well, she has her OnlyFans link in her Instagram page. So.
Wait, what? What's porn?
It's almost like, because I'm trying to rationalize. I'm trying to give y'all points is what I'm trying to do. Okay. Right? Because social media has become such a in your face. You don't have to go to the strip club. You don't have to go on Pornhub. It's literally, you can get on Twitter and see fucking all day.
Yeah.
It took this long for the voice to come out and put it back up. Like, I love Twitter, but Hashtags. I'll be like, God damn it. Like, come on, man, really? But
yeah, I'll be pressing play.
I mean, I watch it, but then I'm like, I can't like it. I watch it, but I can't like it because that shit gonna show up on my page. I'm like, fuck it.
Yeah, Twitter be snitching on you. Twitter
you can't like this shit because it pops up on your feed. And I was like, ooh, no. But
I accidentally liked some gay shit one time. I was
accidentally?
Like, oh, damn, yeah. Like big black cocks. Oh, like fuck.
I got one of those. Oh, fuck. I have one.
Jesus, damn.
No,
That's
it's
crazy.
almost like I think we have to kind of rationalize
Stupid.
it as women to say, okay, it is almost kind of like an insecurity because it's in our face so blatant. But I think we kind of have to look at it like our dude is watching porn. Because I wouldn't be mad if I came home and caught my nigga watching porn. Been there, done that. Like, oh, okay, well, turn that shit up. Like, whatever. But
The volume? Turn the volume up?
if we just watching it, like, whatever.
kinky.
But
That is extremely kinky.
it really,
Turn the volume
no,
up?
we're just watching it. We probably be fucking right now.
But you
Like,
just sit there and watch it?
yeah. I
And
learned
that's
shit
like
from
nothing.
porn. I learned so much shit from porn. Used to love porn so much.
Wait, can I? I'm sorry.
Take
Can
a
I,
sip,
let
take
me-
a sip.
Can I
Edit
cut
that
you
out.
off real quick? What kind of porn do you watch?
I don't watch porn.
At all?
Huh?
No,
What planet are you from?
I don't watch porn. And I'm not lying. I would say it.
Like never, or just not
I've
now?
seen porn.
I've seen. I've seen. We've all
I mean,
fucking
I've seen or two.
I lied. I watched porn a month ago, but
By
it wasn't
yourself?
for.
Yo, man.
Yes, by myself.
Fuck outta
But it wasn't to like get me off or anything. It was just like I was trying to really kind of see, because I was having a conversation with one of my male best friends, and I was just like, I don't see how, girls fuck guys. But I know that there are straight women that will put a strap on and fuck their man and it be
Oh,
okay.
you said girls fuck. I thought you okay.
Okay, yeah,
So-
because I heard I'm like, girl, we fuck men. She's like,
Okay, chicks with dicks fucking men.
okay, yeah.
So I watched it. It's this one particular girl here, and she has an OnlyFans page and she sells dick too. And I said too like I do it. Ugh. Okay,
I didn't even catch it, but
Freudian slip.
not at all. But I was watching it and I was on the phone and I was like, she is really shoving her dick down his throat, and she has like these long nails, like she's just slinging her weave back, and I'm like, how is he?
It's real dick.
Real dick, like born with dick, like, and dick was hard, and I was like, oh, okay,
It's hard.
yeah. And then she bent him over, and she was just giving it to him, and like boobs just jumping, and I'm like, oh, I can't get with this, so I had to click off because I'm like, my mind is fucked.
Sounds like you watched a few minutes.
I did.
because you say it always take a lot from the head scene to the
Yeah.
fucking scene.
No, it was like
take
three.
a while.
No, it was like 3 different ones.
Oh, so you was clicking in. And
I was
out
just.
of them.
Wait, what was that?
It was
was
like
like-
3 different ones. It wasn't
a
just
couple
like
different
one.
ones.
Oh, you're
One
in
was
the-
like-
the compilation. I'm in the compilations. Not transsexual ones, but
Like such and
Big booty black
such,
girl.
such and such shoving dick down Trade's throat.
Trey.
Such and such
God.
fucking the shit out of Trade. Such and such.
Damn.
Like, and I was just
that nigga
like-
Trey out here, cuz.
I was
That's
just
like a thing,
It
I
is.
guess.
And I think that's why it's so hard for me to find, or for me to actually like date. Because if I tell a guy, hey, I'm trans, trying to be transparent, because I didn't do this to trick anyone. I did it just, for my own self.
Right.
And I guess they automatically assume like they're gonna get fucked, and you not.
So that's why you asked him if he.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
How soon do you like you say that like you let it be known right away?
Not all the time.
What determines?
Me being comfortable with the individual and me seeing where it's gonna go. Because if I feel like the conversation is not, or if it's not gonna go anywhere, and it's just like we just killing time, then you won't know.
But do you feel like that's kind of like.
No,
Okay.
because it's none of your fucking business. Because we're not fucking.
What was you about to say? I don't even know what she was about to
She
say.
knew where I
I didn't.
was going. See, you be hanging out. You
don't
wouldn't
know. I don't
know.
know what that means.
No, I was just gonna ask, like, do you feel like it's like tricking the guy if they don't know right off the bat?
Oh, okay.
So like we kicking it, we hanging out, we having a good time, but like you don't know that I'm like going through a transition.
For
like, so you feel
argument's
like it's-
sake, I would feel like you tricking me. Why?
Why so?
Why do you not feel like you?
How am I
tricking
tricking
me?
you though?
Because,
we're not having
like-
sex. We not.
Because if I'm, I feel like a person would know, or at least have the inkling that I'm under the impression that you were. Now, see, this is I don't know. I'm gonna fuck this word in up.
Just say it,
I'm under the impression that you're a woman
and I am.
from birth,
Okay.
right? So like, And I think that you would, because it's almost like weave, right? Hear me out.
I'm offended already.
Why?
Because niggas wear wigs all the time.
No.
And beards. And shit. Go
And
ahead.
spray on.
Ooh, that fucking.
Be bald as
fucking-
fuck.
But what I'm, okay,
What is it, the little spray shit? The Beijing
Beijing,
shit. Nigga, your line is not that goddamn crispy. Out here lying.
But my point is though, like the point of getting all of that, whether it's a woman getting a weave or a wig or a man getting Beijing or so on, whatever the fuck, the point is to make it look as authentic as possible. Like the point is to make somebody think like, oh yeah, that is all his beard, or that is all his hair, that is all her hair, blah blah blah.
We know.
You know what I'm saying? So like, if you're going, like, I guess if they're going into it because your transition was done so successfully or so seamlessly or whatever you would like to call it, you have the look that you were shooting for. You know what I'm saying? So like, so if you actually look like the woman that you are, that you transitioned into, then clearly this person, like, you don't know if that person is into trans women,
But
or
I also don't know if he's a criminal, and he don't know if I'm into people that's been to jail. Like I'm.
But what does
you
that
don't
have to? What does
ask
that
a
have to
lot.
do with? But no, but what does that have to do with like
No, she.
them knowing if you're like
When you,
what you're?
when
But
you
you
first
never
meet
know
a
what-
person,
yeah.
when you first meet a person, like you don't be like, they don't disclose they've been to jail. They don't disclose their past.
Okay,
So if
okay.
I'm no longer living in my past, I don't have to disclose that to you at all until I feel like, okay, it's either to this point to where we're gonna have sex and I haven't had the surgery yet, or I feel like I need to open this up to you, or I feel like you're gonna go to my parents' house and see old pictures of me as a male in their home.
Okay.
At that point, then I'll open up to you. But I feel like it's not tricking anyone, and I say that because women, we don't come to you or y'all don't come to us and be like, okay, my dick is 6 inches.
I wish they would.
So you could be tricking us. Like we could be looking for a whole man out here with 8.5 at least, and y'all coming up here with 5.5 on hard. So if y'all are not being completely transparent and be like, look, I got a small dick, but this is what it is, then why do you expect me to give you all of my tea? Why do you expect me to pour the cup so
My
full?
new best
Well,
friend.
see, my rebuttal to that though would be, a lot of the time, people just don't really ask great questions. You know what I mean? I was saying it's the person who is not asking a question. So I understand what you mean there, but I also think that knowing, because you know the dangers, like how you saying, like people get killed or people get, beat up or whatever the case may be. So you are also aware of how our society is too.
Correct.
You know,
But
and
I
I'm
think
not
that's
saying
ever
that she's
more
wrong. I'm
reasons.
just,
Right. But I think that's ever more reason to be cautious of when you do tell a person. And I say that because if I were to put on my Tinder page, hey, I'm trans, whatever, it can be some sick people out there that's really trying to harm me or lure me in. And, I think they're genuine people. And next thing you know, I'm dead and the Chattahoochee chopped up and my mama can't find me.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I also feel like, okay, so there's this guy that I actually just talked to on Tinder maybe like a week ago. And I didn't tell him straight up. And then I felt like, okay, I feel like this guy is liking me more and more and more, so let me just go ahead and just tell him. And like he was just like, wow. And I was like, that's all you got to say? And he was like, well, I thought you're a woman. And I said, I am. And he's like, but you used to be a dude. And I said, I was. And he was like, and I say that because I'm not going to apologize for what I was, but who I am now.
Right.
And he was like, well, I feel like you tricked me. How so? I'm being myself. I'm being the woman that I am. I'm not misleading you. I'm not saying, hey, I'm 5'4". Like, I'm a woman. Mm-hmm. That's what people see me as when I walk out the door. When I'm at work, I am a woman. So why am I going to tell you anything different?
Do you see how a man could feel, I don't even want to say, I don't want to, yeah, like, all right, so like, just if you got a pussy now, right, Just hypothetically speaking. But in order for that vagina to be there, you had to cut a dick off.
You don't cut it off. You split it down the middle.
You had to split
Take
it down the. You had to
flip it inside out.
You had to.
Hold on, wait, what?
You had
We'll come back to that.
Yeah.
What do they do to it? Because it's a couple I want to split down the middle and rip the inside out.
Oh my Lord.
You split it down the middle from the ball sack up to the head. Split it around. So it's like a circumcision at the top. Pull the muscle out. And at that point, that's when they flip everything inside out.
Okay.
And make a vagina.
All right. So if you do all that painful stuff, right?
Yes.
And then now you have the female anatomy, or what
custom-made
looks
vagina.
to be.
I want a custom made.
Like stupid.
Shit.
Like, I mean, is there has to be a part of you that has to at least understand how that can be a little off-putting for a guy.
Slightly.
Just slightly?
Slightly. And I say that because, for instance, for this guy, we're going to call him T.
His name's so fast. T. Okay.
We're going to call him
Like a
T.
city girl?
But, like, okay, like, you know, we were talking, everything was cool. Like, we exchanged photos, like, and, like, nude photos.
I was going to say, what kind of pictures was you sending?
I stepped outside and I did what my grandmother told me not to do and don't send my pussy through the mail. And I did.
Stepped outside? You did it outside?
No, like.
No, I stepped outside of my comfort zone. Yes.
Oh.
And I sent, like, some nude photos.
Damn.
And, you know, he went all the way up. He was like, you know, damn, I can't wait to do this.
Oh.
So it's like at this point,
So
I feel
now
like.
I have to tell you because, like, you're.
And it's not even that.
So
it's
wait a
just,
minute, hold on. Where's you said you didn't, I'm confused.
Tuck and hide. Tuck and hide. Oh, tuck and hide. I be knowing stuff.
I'm very good at that. You would never know. I can wear the tightest thing and you wouldn't see
Does
nothing.
Okay, does it hurt though? Like,
No, because I don't have balls. Balls, I don't have those. But when I did, and I did tuck, like, it was painful.
I got a crazy question.
Because you're
Yo, no, cause like this just made me
You got
like,
so
all right,
excited. Okay.
all right, this is gonna sound gay as shit, right? Fuck it. So like, when you get turned on,
I'm
like,
on hormones, so I don't.
What did
Nothing it doesn't get hard. It doesn't. It's just mentally. Like, it's not a physical thing for me anymore.
so you like got ED then, basically.
That's so fucked up.
That's hilarious.
No,
That's hilarious.
No, I have a soft clitoris.
But what I'm
What y'all
saying.
calling on sex shop? The big.
The what?
It's the big clit.
Oh, colossal clit.
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
It's like on sex
I don't want to call it that because that's disgusting.
Well, no.
That sounds like it has some type of like growth on
They call it
it.
colossal
No, one of
clit.
our hosts, she fucked the dude, I guess with a small dick, and she just calls it a colossal clit. Cause
So,
it-
like,
yeah.
It's kind of like that.
So no, but what I'm saying is, like, hear me out. Just hear my joke out. Let me.
Joke.
Yeah, the ED.
Oh, okay.
Because it's like if I'm 70 and I get horny, but if I got ED, I'm horny, but my shit don't work, so it's still soft.
So you get horny, but you are soft.
Yeah, like mentally, like I'm yeah, but like my dick is like, nigga,
What you doing?
yeah, fuck out of
So
here.
you can be okay. I mean, I don't know.
I mean, I don't have it yet.
No, I'm. No,
What else?
that wasn't where I was going with that. What I was gonna say was like I don't know because I've never had a dick, so I don't know how that like works.
Right.
Right.
Before hormones, it worked. After, it didn't.
So
So you can be aroused and not. It like what ED is, so you can be aroused like mentally. You want to have sex.
Yeah.
You want to have sex, but you're not aroused.
nigga, that can happen now.
I mean, I don't know how
What
it
you
works.
mean?
I'm just asking.
No, I'm just saying it can happen now. You ain't ever been about to fuck a nigga and like his dick don't be hard.
No.
Never.
No.
right.
Sorry.
I guess it's just.
No.
I guess it's just me who ain't have a hard dick that one time. All right, that's cool.
I mean,
No, I mean, I'd have
transparency,
been-
it's okay.
I'd have been like, I mean, I'd have been in a situation where I wanted to smash a girl and my dick wouldn't work. Like, whatever. Sometimes it happens.
Really?
Yeah, maybe you be nervous.
Did you really?
Or,
Oh, okay. So because I'm like, why would it not work? Like,
yeah, like maybe you be nervous or just sometimes that shit just be chilling. Like, it don't be what
It
the.
be chilling?
Yeah.
I'd
That
be
ass.
mad as fuck. I'd be like, gotta go.
I'm
serious.
perplexed. I just didn't know like it worked that way. Like I want to fuck you, but I can't.
Are y'all serious?
I'm serious. I mean, I don't. It's not. I've never experienced it, so I don't.
I think we were talking about T in that situation.
Yeah, you were
Okay,
talking about T. 'Cause I was
yeah.
like, you come up with these names quick. Okay, yeah, T. And so T.
So I told him, and he was like, I feel like he tricked me, but like he like stopped texting for like 3 days, and I was like, okay, well, nigga.
Okay.
Like, it is what it is. Like, I feel like at this point, 1, you can't unsee me. 2, you can't take away the fact that you were turned on by me. 3, you can't take away the fact that you called me a beautiful woman or said that I'm a beautiful woman. So, therefore, what you gonna do?
I mean, okay. This is kind of where we left off, where I was trying to basically ask you, like, how do you not understand, like, how it can be a little bit unsettling for a guy to be attracted to a woman who wasn't always a woman. Like, because if that were to happen, that would bring up a bunch of that would make us, question, like, what's going on with me.
But it would be based off of what society has told you over the years, not something. If society wasn't saying, oh, well, just because you're into a trans woman or making it such a scandal, I don't think it would be such a big deal.
I
don't know, though.
No, but think about it. No, think about it. Because if you didn't know, you were just honestly attracted to this person. And because everybody around you is telling you that this is wrong, that's a man, then now this is in your head. It's etched in your head that this is a man. Right. But it's clearly a woman. You saw a woman. You were attracted to a woman. You weren't attracted. It wasn't like she pulled out, like, oh, look at my dick. Like, that wasn't what she was doing. So, like, you weren't attracted to her appendage. It wasn't that.
But, I mean, we got to be honest, man. The dick changes a lot.
But he doesn't know if it's there. He's never asked that question. So he doesn't know. It's just an assumption. But I feel like if you wanted to know, you should have said, okay, so do you still have it or what? And I would have been like, well.
I mean, yeah, like.
I'd have like, it depends. But see, I feel like it's so hard for me to answer that question because I feel like at that point, I would answer it truthfully, but I feel like at that point, that's when things would kind of take a turn because, like this situation, like he wanted to get to know me before he knew. So now it's like you're not even really giving me a chance to get to know the real person because of what you think. And I don't want to climb your back. So trust me, it's gonna be gone just as soon as they give me the green light to chop it off or split it down the middle. Like it's not going to be there. I'm going to have a custom-made $32,000 vagina.
Wait, 32?
It is different though, man.
Have you tried it?
32,000?
No, I haven't. No, I don't mean like I don't mean like the feel. I just mean like.
You probably feel better because it was custom made. I'm like 32,000. Oh shit.
I mean, probably, but I just, if I'm part of that society that like makes me like double dutch it, like I'm part of it. You know what I'm saying? Because I would question myself.
Okay. So let me stop you there. I understand that. So if that's an apprehension or if that's something that you're not down with, by all means say, look, I'm not down with it. But I've had so many men that have said I'm not down with it, but like a month later I get a text like, what you doing? Nigga, not studying you. Like, what do you want with me now? Like, you've said that you weren't interested. You said that, it's not your thing. So what do you want? Why are you reaching out to me? Don't try to be friends with me because I know what you want. Now you're curious. And I feel like that's not where he is now because now he's like, wow, I still can't believe it. Nigga, what the fuck? Like, we've jumped over that hurdle. Why are you still here? Why are you still texting me? And it's not even an anger issue on my part, but I feel like it's either you are interested or you're not. Either you want to give it a try or you're not. Either you see me as a woman or you don't. Don't like teeter-totter back and forth.
But that's a little unfair.
How so?
That's a little unfair, man.
Or it's a little insensitive on the man's part.
It could be either or.
Okay.
But I mean, I do think that's a little unfair because if this is a person who's never dabbled, like that's not something that you could just make a split decision on. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
so if that be the case, say, right. But if that be the case, just say, look, this is new to me. Give me time to process it. Let me ask some questions so I can get better clarity. Don't just be like, oh, I'm not into niggas. I don't like dick. Okay.
I mean,
because you didn't see no nigga. And you still don't. And you didn't see no dick.
But for me, like, that's the reason why it would be so, like, it's one of those moments that would just, like, make you just be like, yo, like, wait a minute. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I don't even think I don't even think that's even in a disrespectful way. It's just in like whoa, like, I didn't know that's what I was signing up for. Like, you know what I'm saying?
But what are you exactly signing up for?
It has to be with a woman. Because it's not going to be there forever.
Wait, say that again?
I said, what, like she said, what are you signing up for besides being with a woman? Like, women come in all different shapes, sizes.
Like, oh man, I'm a Neanderthal. Because I'm not, because like
but you're speaking for most men though.
I am.
Heterosexual men.
Yeah. But this is coming from me now though. Like, cause all right. So my story with the Tinder thing, right?
Tinder.
Yeah. I swiped a trans woman unknowingly. I had a brief conversation, and she let me know like pretty upfront, like, I'm a trans woman or whatever. I don't know if you're into that. I'm not sure how. I'm paraphrasing. I don't know exactly how the conversation went, but it was something like that. And I was like, oh shit, like my bad. Like that's not my thing. Like I appreciate you like letting me know, but that's not something that I want to pursue further. Like, you know what I mean? And it wasn't I definitely respected the honesty, the straightforwardness. But I'll be totally honest with you. Like, after that, excuse me, it was a point in time where I felt a little embarrassed for like almost falling for it. You know what I'm saying? And that's probably a bad choice of words.
Yeah.
Horrible choice. But I'm taking you back to that. I'm taking y'all back to that space, to that time. Like, that's how I felt. Like, I felt like, oh shit, like I almost got. Like, I almost got it. Could, like, my mind immediately went to, damn, son, like, you could have been in a situation where y'all two could have been alone, and like you rubbing thighs, and like now you feeling some dick. Like, that's really I'm not. I'm telling the truth. I'm telling y'all the truth. I'm telling y'all the truth. Like, that's where my mind went. You know what I'm saying? Whether it be a trash ass mind, like of where I was going, like, that's a true statement. And like, I just feel like a lot of, and I'm the furthest. It's crazy because like I'm the furthest thing from like homophobic, or I don't even know if transphobic is a term, but I mean, clearly you're fucking sitting here, like, you know what I'm saying? I wanted to have this conversation, but at that time, this was a few years ago. I just say all of that to say, like, I can understand how you can, as a man who thinks you're heterosexual, can take a step back and be like, just kind of like, damn, like, do I like? Because in our minds, we can't get over the fact that you were born as a male. That's a hard thing to try to just sweep under the rug. Like, it's just difficult. Like, I see you making faces.
Because you saw titties, you saw a woman. So I understand what you're saying. I completely understand what you're saying. But I'm like, I guess I can't process how. I don't know. I mean,
because like, all right. So say if you came across a trans man, like,
there
you see
a lot of sexy trans men.
Say that again?
There are a lot of sexy trans men, and I'm just like, damn.
So would you date a trans man?
See, this is the thing. I'm gonna never say never, but right now I'm gonna say no.
Why is that?
Because I want some real dick.
Now
wait a minute.
I'm not gonna argue with you.
Now wait a minute though. But wait a minute though. Like, so how can you say that? How can you
having
say?
a vagina.
How can you say real? Like, how can you put the emphasis on real? How can you say that?
Okay. Because a lot of